Yeah, well, let me set the scene for you. He was about halfway down the mine shaft searching for gold when his equipment failed and he fell the remaining 50 feet. At the bottom, there was no flat surface. It was only 8 feet around, and the snake's rattling tails were maddening.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Dubbed the Phoenix Indiana Jones by Banner Health, John Waddell knows he's lucky to be alive.
You've always got to have a little sliver of hope that you're going to get out.
Waddell decided to explore a mine in a remote part of Maricopa County that he thought would have a good amount of gold in it. And he was right, but his equipment malfunctioned and he plunged 50 feet.
I tried to slow down with my hands by gripping the rope just as tight as I could, because there was nothing else to help slow me.
But the blisters on his hands were nothing compared to the multiple broken bones in his left leg.
I laid back and I was looking for a way of setting my leg, and there was a stick there, so I used the stick, put it inside my boot, and pushed just as hard as I could, and I set my leg.
Then he saw his first rattlesnake coming at him. The same stick he used as a splint was now also his weapon. Waddell said the mine was so dark he couldn't even see the second snake, but felt it slithering by his arm.
I waited till he got completely underneath my arm. I reached down, grabbed it, and threw it just as hard as I could. And I heard it hit the wall, and again I take my stick out and I'm beating the crap out of it.
And the third snake he strangled.
I don't like killing them, but you know, it was either me or them.
His friend was supposed to show up if he didn't hear from Waddell by the second day, but his hope started dwindling as the sun went down.
When it got dark, I didn't know what to think.
Hallucinations, starvation, and dehydration started to sink in.
I was popping the blisters and drinking the fluid to try to get something in my system. Because my mouth was so dry, it was like cracking.
After hopelessly screaming for help, his friend appeared on the third day. He said that's the only reason he lived to tell his story.
Not something anyone I would wish on my worst enemy to go through something like that, because the torture that it puts on your mind and your heart, it's quite an ordeal.
I can't even imagine. Waddell said he used to be an EMT years ago, and a lot of the instincts that he learned were kicked in when he had to deal with all of that. Like I said, I can only imagine that. Doctors said he has about 6 to 8 weeks until he can get back on his feet, and it sounds like eventually he wants to get back to mining for gold. Live in the newsroom, I'm Kim Powell for Arizona's Family.